Each afternoon, real setups are broken down with entry strategies and the technical reasoning behind every trade. This is today's best trade setups with Verified Investing.
Welcome to today's best trade setups. My name is Benjamin Poole, head trader here at Verified Investing. The SPX is heading higher. It is higher than that $7,070 level that I was mentioning as far as resistance goes. And that's on the back of the news that the Strait of Hormuz is now opened up. Let's go ahead and dive into the charts. The first one we're going to go over is the SPX. I did have a lot of lines in my charts the previous days. However, these are the two trend lines that I'm observing really on this chart. Here's this upswing trend line. First hit, second hit, third hit. Now we're actually getting above that hit of that trend line, which again was that $70,000 or $7,070 level that I was mentioning for a potential short yesterday. Now that we're above this, this is probably indicating to the bulls that the S&P 500 or the SPX is going to go and retest the underside of this upswing trend line, which would put a SPX right around $7,362, all the way up to about $7,375. And it really depends on when this upsloping trend line is hit. But this is a secondary trend line that I'm observing. Pivot top here, secondary hit. This is going to be your resistance level once the SPX does decide to push up a little bit higher. Even though that it's got positive news on the Strait of Hormuz, look at this. This is almost a 13% move from the lows of the 30th of March, 2026. Just pushed all the way through all this resistance like it was nothing. It's because it's got low volume on not only the SPX, but pretty much in the entire market. And so we could be going into the spring and summer session where the lighter volume could just continue to rise this thing up to the upside. Again, the next level of resistance is right around $7,362 to $7,375 on the chart of the SPX. And I know it's not measured in dollars, it's measured in ticks and stuff, but that's okay. US oil, I did mention yesterday at $113.39. Yesterday would have been my swing trade or my day trade level. As you can see, it did pierce that level and got down to about $110. Now, this was just a technical level that previous buyers had stepped in on the USO, got a nice bid to the downside, and now we're catching a little bit of a bid. So had you dollar cost averaged into this, you would be in the profits. For me, because this news came out this morning, this level was off of the table for me. So if we do drop a little bit lower, $108.16 is your first level of support. And then you've got this pivot in the charts right here that for today, I would be interested in taking USO at $101.45. That is the level that I'd be interested in getting into the trade on a technical basis. Intel just continues to push. Intel was in the gutters not too long ago. It was trading the lows of 2025. The end of 2025 is trading at $30. And now it's trading above $70. That is over a 100% move to the upside. Intel is now getting overextended. It's created a new all-time high. Again, this thing is starting to get so overextended, it's due for about a 15% correction to the downside. Let's go ahead and jump into the charts of Intel. Look at this. This was from the low of March 2026. Look at this extended move. 70 cents or 70% move to the upside just from the lows of the 30th of March. I'm sorry. This is just a ridiculous chart. You zoom out. Look at where this goes. It takes you all the way back to the pivot highs back in 2021, and then even back to the highs of January 2020 before this huge sell-off. Now that we're above this level, this is indicating to all the bulls that now all of a sudden Intel is the next big play. It's got a couple different partnerships. So now everybody should get into this. This is what I like to see. I like to see pivot tops, all-time highs get taken out, especially after this huge run to the upside, because so many bulls get on board with this and they think now it's pure $70. It's going to $80 to $100. And that could happen. However, it's due for a pullback. And so this is where I'd start a swing trade on Intel. knowing my next level of resistance is going to be $75. I could just dollar cost average into it. And then my next whole round number is $80. And again, from that extended move from $40 all the way to $80, that's 100% move to the upside on a chart like Intel. Partnerships or not, there will be a point where there's going to be a lot of profit takers. And as soon as that starts triggering, you're going to have this massive sell-off. I could actually see Intel coming back down to about $54.35. Even if it gets up to about $75 to $80, that is just a retrace to the scene of the crime breakout. As you can see, it never tested this level as far as resistance. That means that the magnetic effect will pull this back into $54.29, and that's where you're going to catch some support. But that's where ultimately I think Intel's coming into. I'm not going to hold a swing trade that long, but I would be taking a nice 10-15% move to the downside once Nvidia or Intel decides it wants to roll over. I was looking at the Nvidia chart. Nvidia, I did mention 201.03 level yesterday. This was not a level for today. If we can get another bid to the upside, I would be interested in shorting Nvidia at $203. You've got this wide range red bar candle before this huge sell off to the downside. So what we're having now is this big rally. And this wasn't quite the rally that Intel had, or AMD for that matter. But look at this, this would be a 23% move to the upside on a, what is it? It's a $3 trillion company, $4.88 trillion company. So adding 25% to its market cap, it's actually insane to think that that much of a market cap can be added to a position. So you're adding $1 trillion to the market cap of Nvidia, or close to it. So again, 203 is the level that I'd be interested in playing this for a short, knowing that I could dollar cost average, and I would do it every $2 or so higher. So that way my next ad, it would be just under $2. So that way my ad can be 206.88. And as you can see, there's a gap in the charts, and this starts to get interesting for a swing trade with this extended move from all the lows all the way up into this gap. I'm starting to look, it's starting to look interesting for a swing trade. Again, day trade 203, and I know I have 201, but that don't just kind of ignore that. 206.88, and then eventually, if we can get up to $212.40 or just below that, that's a double top area, which you're going to have additional resistance. I think Nvidia is going to roll over again. Not necessarily going to take out that 164 level, but it's due for a corrective move about 7 to 8, 10%. To the downside. Bloom Energy had this nice topping tail in the charts. This is what I was mentioning on what's going on with Intel. What I see is pivot top here, secondary hit, breakout above, and then we put in some sort of reversal candle, and now all of a sudden we're having a decent sell-off. We still need to recapture the underside of this upswing trend line, and then we can get a further sell-off in Bloom Energy. I still think we're coming down to at least about $126 or $176.74. That's going to be your first level of support on Bloom Energy. For today, I would still be looking to play about $226.73 on a shorting level. And this would be more of a swing trade as well, knowing that it could go up to as high as $240.82. And that's okay. I would just dollar cost average into it and look for that bigger pullback to about 176.79. Tesla's having a nice move to the upside. I did mention yesterday a couple different levels. First level of resistance was 405.18. And with the surge in the markets, Tesla actually pushed through that level and got to this gap in the charts at 407.80. If we can stay at or around that level by 130, that would be an interesting level for me to possibly look at it. If we're above that level, what I would actually be looking at is this $417.40 level. This is where I'd be loving to get into the chart of Tesla. From the closing price yesterday, that would be about a 7% move. And that's what can happen on Tesla, on the chart of Tesla from time to time, where you have these extended moves to the upside. So again, 417.40 is my day trade level today, unless it stays around the 407.80 level by about 130. That means that the sellers are continuing to drive this down and the buyers are stepping out of the way, and then you could see a rollover. Once we start pushing, though, the buyers will take control and push this up. probably, actually, what's going to happen is it's going to stop at this high pivot point. It's not actually going to get to this gap in the charts. So $416.38. But on a technical basis, the gap in the charts is where you would start picking up a short play. Not for a swing trade, but definitely for a day trade. Those of you who are aggressive, take that pivot top, 416.36. That's going to be the level of a potential reversal. Bitcoin, I have an upside move today. I don't know that it's necessarily going to get to $80,556, but this high pivot area right around $78,664, that is where I'd be looking to start a swing or a day trade short, knowing that I could dollar cost average into about $80,556. And I would be using the IBIT ETF, and I would be shorting that. That, again, looks like a great opportunity for a swing trade. Now that we've broken this down sloping trend line, this would be an interesting level to get back into it. If we get a fall back down to about $70,000 or $71,000, this would be a great entry point, as this would be a retrace of the scene of the crime. And then any point that we stopped or we get below $70,600 on a daily closing basis, I would stop out of this trade. Microsoft is having a nice push to the upside. I was mentioning that you had some resistance at this couple different trend lines. First trend line was this lower end. We had this nice breakout, never got a retrace. So now that one's off of the table. So we have the secondary trend line, connects pivot top here, secondary hit, third hit, kind of kissed that level. And now if we zoom into the charts, it's actually above that level now. It hasn't confirmed above. And so this trend line is still going to be resistance, even though we're above it now, because this is the third hit. Oftentimes when third hits of up or down sloping trend lines get broken through, there's still a pullback effect, because there are a lot of people who are still willing to take profits here. So as soon as we get a little bit of selling, then the chart of Microsoft should sell off as well. So if you can get this back down to about $399, that would be a great entry point for a day trade. I don't see that happening today, but that would be in the next few days, $399.41. It's going to be a previous gap in the charts, and that's where I do anticipate Microsoft coming back to. On the upside, if Microsoft never comes back and retraces to that level, your next level of resistance is this prior gap in the charts right here, secondary pivot. As you can see, price had respected that level before on the upside. So now when we're underneath it, $438.73 is where I would get into a day trade short today. Again, that level is $438.73. I would look to short this as far as a day trade, and I would go pretty heavy. Microsoft doesn't move a ton from the closing price yesterday. This would be about 4% move to the upside. That's not a big move on the chart of Microsoft. STX. So STX, I did mention that we had hit this upsloping trend line several different times, putting in a little bit of consolidation. I still like this as far as a swing trade. However, I did mention that it could go up to about $550 because it had already taken out the $525 level. And that's what happened today. We did get a little bit of a pullback. And this would be an add level for me if I was swing trading. So I would have started with like about a 1% of my portfolio. And now the STX is up to about 550. You could just double your position, bring your average price up. And so that way, if it does come down, drops about $12.50 or so, then what you can do is you can remove half of it off the table. My next level of resistance is going to be 575, another psychological level, which I would add another 1 to 2%. And then once it gets up to $600, because that would be the next whole round number where price action could push it, or the buyers could push price action to, that would be an additional level that I could enter into the position. Now, I would be a little bit more conservative because it is short. And so as it continues up, if it gets back into break even or pretty close to it, I would consider removing half of it off the table, just so that way I can ride an average price higher, but gives me maneuverability. So if it does jump again, then I can dollar cost average in, really bring that average price up, take that profit off, take some position off the table and work my average up that way. Eventually, this is going to have a pretty substantial fall to the downside. I just don't know when that's going to be. It looked like it was going to happen the other day. It did have a good rollover, but it wasn't a sustained rollover. And now we're pushing up. And so we just kind of continue to monitor these things and dollar cost average and protect capital. So here was that first level. And like I said, it wasn't a big rollover. And then all of a sudden we started to chop sideways a little bit, send a little bit higher, 524.17. That was the original level that I gave. It was only about a 4% pullback. However, had you gotten in, you could have taken about a $20 move to the downside. Now that we're up to $550, what we need to happen is this upsloping trend line right here needs to get broken to the downside. And that goes back to the pivot high in the 22nd of January 2025. Secondary hit here, third hit here. I do like the fact that it has broken out, or potentially had broken out to the upside. Again, that would signal to the bulls that it's time to jump on board and really drive this higher. And that's usually when profit taking comes in and really pulls the rug out from under it. I don't anticipate a huge pullback before it bounces a little bit. $488.32 is your first level of support. Once you can break that, though, then you're coming down to $468.85. And then I like this double top where to retrace to the scene of the crime, breakout at $453.85. Once we can get some consolidation right above these levels, then we can identify where further downside move is. You are going to have some support if you get down to about $344, but we have to get through all of this support levels before we can break down even further on the chart of STX. AMD, here we go. We have this pivot top right here. This goes back to the highs. Let me see if I can get this better. All right, pivot highs of 2022. Secondary hit right here from the highs of 2024. I see an AMD, even though it's further extended, $285.14. That is, or $285.96, somewhere in this area, depending on when it hits this upswing trend line. This is where AMD is going to end up pulling back from. This is an overextended move. Again, similar to Intel, not quite as crazy of a move, but look at this price consolidation. The bulls were out of control. The bears were in control of this, putting some nice bullish or bearish consolidation. And then all of a sudden we had this huge news that the war was about to end. And now all of a sudden we ripped to the upside. The AMD is a chip manufacturer that does pretty good work. We have a tech guy in here who says that AMD is going to be one of the next $1 trillion companies, which I don't doubt. Right now, though, we are 43% move to the upside. It's due for about a 10 to 15% pullback. It's likely coming back into about $250. Doesn't mean it can't hit that 285 level first. And then once that level hits, your next level of resistance is going to be 300. And so if it does hit the 285 or 286 level, depending on when it hits that upswing trend line, I would look to enter a short trade there, knowing that I've got that additional whole round number of $300 to add to that position if it did get there. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the comments. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Apex live day trading room on here. So we go live every morning at 9:25. So if you guys are interested in getting our entry prices and our exit prices and having help navigate through trades, that's what we do every single day. So go ahead and scan that QR code. We'd love to have you with us. It's a lot of fun in there. Lots of little dad jokes that I like to throw out there from time to time. Lots of banter back and forth. But really what's crucial is we get to make profits alongside of you, and you get to make profits alongside of us. So scan that QR code and join us there. Please make sure you're following, you're liking, subscribing, sharing with those friends, and most importantly, ringing that bell. So that way, when we put out additional information, you can get notified every time that fresh new information comes out. We also have verified investing extras. This is a new channel that we've started up. It's got a lot of good reviews. It's also got a lot of new subscribers. So if you've already subscribed to Verified Investing Extras, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the new additional content that you guys are getting every single week. And with that said, you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you guys on Monday. Take care.